Hi Virgo, welcome to your September reading. It's specifically for life, purpose, and career. So it's not only applied for September. This is a reading that's going to last from this September of 2016 to the next, 2017. So I decided to do a specialized reading this month where you can reflect on in regards to your career and life purpose for the year. Okay, so it's something for me like it's a fresh start in September. It's the whole back to school month, and I do feel a lot of people do most of their reflecting around the fall season. So I felt it was something necessary and that everyone's thinking about. And to be honest, I did find a lot of connections with all the signs wanting to change their careers or maybe add a little more creativity in their life. So let's see what your cards have to say. And just to distinguish between life purpose and career, because a lot of people, they ask like what the difference is, but your life purpose doesn't necessarily, have to be your job that you get paid for. If you could mix, your calling, life purpose, whatever, however you want to call it, with being your career, that's great. But whatever spirit intends for us to fulfill in this lifetime, we still do it, okay? Even subconsciously, whether we like it or not. So for example, and a lot of Virgos are like this, and it did come up in your reading, you might have a very practical job where you're managing or organizing and it's something physical, but at the same time you make a very natural psychologist and people come to you for advice, maybe your friends and your family. So that's something you don't get paid for. You could consider doing this, getting paid for this, or a career path, but regardless, you do live on purpose at all times. So don't be stressed if you don't have an answer yet. It's not a destination, it's all about the journey, just like the saying goes. But you will connect the dots along the way. Just follow your intuition, where your inner compass is steering you at that moment in time. And if you can make a change, then do it. Okay, focus on the things you can control. All right. But overall, it is a very interesting reading because I see a lot of different things in it. But the core, I do see a lot of the counseling card is that people are coming to you for advice, and you're a mediator of some sort this year, or you're looking to find work. So the counseling card is a card that, was attracted me the most. All right. But overall, whatever it is you want to do, polish your skills by practicing regularly. So you do have the practice card, okay? Because I do sense a lot of you are getting a lot of insecurities and fears coming in the way towards achieving your dream. You might be like, oh, I don't have time, and the time passes and you don't do anything about it. And you might even be afraid that you're not perfect. You haven't perfected what it is that you want to do. Okay, you don't have to be, you'll never know something fully, okay? You're always learning along the way. So don't be afraid that, you have to be the master right now and perfect, because as long as you get the message out there and it's there for people to see, it's meant to be out there in the world, whatever you want to create, whatever project you want to start, okay? So just dive into it, and the universe will align itself to make it work out for you. It's going to, present to you with opportunities. It might give you, an option of publishing later on, because you have the author card. So I do see a lot of you maybe writing a book, or you have something beautiful to create and to give a message to the world. But overall, it's telling you to practice and find some time each day. Okay, so for example, if you write a page each day, okay, you'll have 365 pages at the end of the year. You'll already create a book. So you don't notice it. Just take time each day to really focus on what it is you want to work towards, even if you want to change careers. Okay, so you might have to say no to a lot of people. Like if people are coming at you and demanding your time, You might have to say a no and set your priorities and set boundaries in order to do whatever it is you feel like doing. I see a lot of you into music because I'm looking at the practice card and the music card, and they're both holding instruments here. So I do see a lot of you, maybe you have a passion for composing or producing or performing, maybe even teaching music. So how to bring out the passion from your students in their music. But overall, this does require a lot of patience and practice until, mastery. I don't believe in 100%, so I'm just going to call it mastery, but close to mastery, okay? Because I don't think you're ever really 100% a master in anything. There's always room for growth, always room to learn, okay? So take that time and release your fears of being, perfect. I know a lot of Virgos, you're very detail oriented. You want it totally organized, and you want to be ready until you embark a new project or a new lifestyle or career change. So try to not let, this is the ego talking to you that you have to be perfect. So try and release your fears from that, okay? And you'll find, focus on the positive, saying things like, I can do it, and, help me find ways to increase my abundance through this path. This is just an affirmation you could say that will help you find more inspiration and more divine guidance or ideas coming your way. Okay, any stress-based thoughts or fears are just going to create more stress in your life, and you don't want that. So taking that time, if you're not doing music as a career path, I do see you doing it as a hobby for yourself. This is a great form of meditation for you because you are an earth sign. You're very practical. So you do want to escape sometimes and go into your own little world and just gain that balance again. So I feel music, maybe taking a music class or something like that will benefit you greatly. Okay. It will give you more divine guidance and inspiration as well. Counseling, so going back to that, don't mind me, I'm jumping around. It's whatever calls to me at that moment. But counseling card, okay, so I do see a lot of you, you make really great advisors. You heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. So a lot of your friends and family, I'm seeing them coming to you for advice, and you give them a lot of support. You're not judgmental at all. So any position like this, where it deals with like social work, psychology, mediation, advising, you could do marriage counseling, you could do child and youth counseling, employment counseling, any type of counseling, anything in mental health. You have the ability, you have a very earthy quality about you being an earth sign. You give a bit of peace and calm to people. People like to come to you to get that life advice. And you also give them, not only help them achieve their dreams and their passions, but you also give it a bit like a very realistic and practical spin. Okay, so they know they can count on you to actually make it happen. You're not just talking gibberish and giving them life coach advice. You're actually helping them with a plan. So for those of you interested in human behavior and psychologies, I do see you working towards that. Oh, and also what just came to me is you could be using music healing in a part of your facility, or maybe you're thinking of helping people heal through music in psychology. So that came up too, which is interesting. Okay, so mixing a bit of the healing arts into your counseling or psychology business, anything like that. That's really interesting. Cool. So that's maybe for someone watching specifically. Maybe they're thinking of doing that, and this is a big confirmation for you. Okay. I love when that happens. Okay, so let's move down. Here's another interesting card, and it only came out for you. Oracle cards. You are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. Okay, so you are able to work as you have a strong intuition and psychic ability. For a lot of you, maybe you want to do, your life coaching business and you want to use cards as a part of your business for healing and helping people with guiding them and finding the answers for themselves. So maybe you're going to use tarot or oracle cards to help people find an answer. But if you're not doing this, as a living or a career, it could be full-time or part-time, whatever you want. You could do it as a hobby, whatever appeals to you. But overall, this is a card that's saying you might benefit even in your local town from someone that's a spiritual advisor. So you could get a lot of clarity at this time. Your spirituality is at peak at this time for the fall. So I do feel you will be attracted to a lot of occult subjects or mysterious metaphysical subjects. Could even be astrology, numerology, anything like that. That's a little bit out of, society norms or whatever, but you will benefit from someone giving you a reading or just giving you your chart of what's to come in the next year, like maybe a birth chart, astrological reading. So if you've been looking to find someone like that, take a look around your local neighborhood or anything like that, or maybe a friend can recommend someone for you. Maybe you have a friend that's into stuff like that. So really take that time to explore yourself through this. You might learn something new. You will definitely get inspired. So this is great. Okay. So you also have flowers, which is interesting. So it could be that you open a floral shop. You're a florist. It could be very obvious for some watching out there. But overall, working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. So it could even be, maybe you need a flower for healing properties at this time to bring in a nice feng shui in your household. You could be teaching others how to use feng shui in their office environment or their home, and you could be working with flowers to bring in more happiness in people's lives. So maybe you take something out from that message. Flowers represent love and beauty. So a lot of you, and Virgos, you're very detail oriented. So this is like flower arranging or organizing in some sense, using your, observation skills, detail, originality. It could even be a lot of you in the beauty field. So maybe working as a in cosmetics or perfumes, aromatherapy. So that could be it as well. Okay. So this card could have a lot of meanings, even though it's so simple with like flowers, but it could be that you're using your organization and detail-oriented skills, maybe even as a wedding planner or event planner, and you're organizing how to use flowers or beauty, bringing out beauty in an environment. Okay, so that could apply in anything. It could be interior decorating, designing. These are some of the careers. Wow, you're the only sign that has such a variety. Like, you could do so many things. But if some of you do get a different idea or like you have another job in mind, feel free to post it in the comments section because you might be helping somebody else looking at this reading. So it's nice to work, all together and to gain different inspirations just by looking at this. And you also have authors. So you have a story to tell inside you. You might have a life experience. So maybe one of you out there is guided to write a book or maybe start a blog or anything that inspires others through the written word. So you can actually connect this with your life coaching or counseling business. You could do something in a blog where it helps like create an article for like self-help or life coaching. Anything that you desire to express, make the time to write it. And I think this is where the practice card is coming in, is I really do believe you need to take some time each day to devote yourself in your practice, in that hobby that you have, because I do feel it's going to bring great rewards, and you need to discipline yourself to continue with this. Don't lose hope. Don't let your fears get in the way. Okay? So practice daily. And because it's over the oracle cards, it could even mean in order to enhance your intuition and in order to do this for others, you might need to keep practicing on people to master it like fully or closely. Okay. But overall, you have maybe a skit to write, going back to the author card. It could be a movie, it could be comedy, anything at all that requires writing. You have an idea and it's urging you to express this idea. And once you start, you will be guided along the way. That's something else that you need to hear. Okay, so you might be wondering, how am I going to start? Or you're confused how to start. Just start, whatever feels comfortable for you, and you're going to be guided again along the way. And don't worry too much about, future, like how you're going to get it published, how you're going to get the people to collaborate, to maybe advertise it. You might be jumping ahead. I feel a lot of you are doing that. So really just take it step at a time and what you can handle. Okay, so if it requires for you to do the writing, do it. And then you're going to figure out later how you're going to find someone to publish it. Okay, so that's something important that you needed to hear. But overall, you need to express yourself in that way. That's going to give you a lot of creative satisfaction. And again, overall, you don't necessarily need to quit your day job or your full-time. You could devote some time throughout the day to ease in to your desired career path or job or whatever. Even as a hobby, you can do it. You could start part-time. You could even work as a volunteer, gaining and building on your skills. Okay, so there is more time than you think. Overall, let me know what you think. I hope you have a good year ahead. This is nice to reflect upon. I'll put it on the Facebook page, and I'll also put the pictures on Instagram as well. If you'd like a personal reading, just go down to my Etsy link and I could do a specialized reading for you. And I also add astrology and numerology in the mix, since it is my favorite reading and I love helping people with their career path. So feel free to take a look. All right, so I'll see you next month. Enjoy. Bye-bye.